Guys, welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I thought that I'd do a college freshman advice video because I know that most of my subscribers are incoming freshmen, and so I thought I'd give you tips and advice on the things that I wish I knew before I got here that would have been nice to know, So I'm just gonna jump right into it. My first tip that I wrote down is to know that you are just as smart as everyone else and that you deserve to be there, because I remember freshman year I had the worst imposter syndrome. And if you guys don't know what that is, that's like the feeling of not being good enough or feeling like you don't belong there because you're not smart or you're not as smart as everyone else. And I actually went through this mostly because the school that I go to is PWI, it's predominantly white, and being an underprivileged student is really different because tuition here is $75,000 a year, and actually half of the students that attend the school don't need any type of financial aid. So half of the students here are paying $75,000 a year out of pocket, which is crazy because I'm here on scholarship, so that's the complete opposite. And so these students come into college so prepared compared to me, and it's I took an advanced biology course on my first semester of freshman year, and the professor was teaching topics that everyone just understood, everyone got, and I was my teacher has never taught me this in high school. I was super lost, and that just made me feel bad. I'm not smart enough. Do I even deserve to be here? I probably got accepted because they needed to fill a diversity quota. These were other things going through my head. I was comparing myself to students who went to $50,000 prep schools while I attended just a basic public school, to students who had tutors in high school. I can't afford to have any of that stuff. So it was it was really unreasonable for me to compare myself, but I couldn't help it. It was inevitable. I thought I was dumb. Oh my god, did my mom even take her folic acid? Did you forget to take your prenatals? I'm just slow. I really thought that I was slow and that I wasn't smart. But that wasn't the case. I just came in and they were just one step ahead of me, and so I had to work a little harder to get there. But in the end, I used my resources, I went to tutoring, and I ended up getting a really good grade in the class. And so if you come to school and you feel like that in any type of way, just know that you deserve to be there. You're there because you're just as qualified as every other student, and the admission office accepted you because they know that you can do it and that you're capable of being successful in that institution. That was a mouthful. Okay, that was a really big one for being the first one. My second thing about college that I didn't know is that college will humble you. So I came in from high school knowing that I was smart. I was yeah, I'm so smart, I got this, I'm such a good writer. I thought I was a good writer, and I thought I was good at all these things. And then I came into college and I was yikes. I got my first paper back, and it was my professor just hated the way I wrote. She literally told me, I hate the way you write, because I just wrote in all passive voice. I basically wrote my papers as if I was writing a lab report, and that really annoyed my professor. And so the things that I thought I was good at in high school, I realized that I wasn't good at, and so I had to work harder to get better at those things. The second tip that I have and that I realized is that procrastination does not work in college. You might have been the student that procrastinated in high school, waited till the very last minute to get something done, pulled an all-nighter, and got an A. Just let me tell you that does not work in college. And if you're coming into college thinking that that's gonna work, you're just setting yourself up for failure. So just please don't do it. You have to give yourself plenty of time to do the assignments, especially if you know that you're not good in that certain subject. For example, statistic, if I have a homework and he assigns it on Monday and the homework is due Friday, I start no later than Tuesday or Wednesday, because I know that I need time to do it, because I'm super slow with the homework. It takes people 3 hours to do, it takes me 8, 10, or 3 days to do. I just never know. So I started early. And there's other homework assignments that I'm oh yeah, I got this, but I still don't start the same night. I never start homework the same night that it's due, because it's just a setup. Don't do it. Another tip that I can't stress enough and that I'm always telling my freshman college friends is to use all your resources. I'm really lucky to go to a school that really like pays attention and caters to students like myself. If you're struggling with a class, talk to your professor, communicate. Like, your professor will understand. That same biology class that I told you about, I wasn't prepared because a lot of the things that she was teaching, people got fast and I never heard of it. And I emailed her. I sat down and I was like, look, professor, like, I feel like everyone understands what you're teaching, but I never seen this before in my life and I need extra time to learn it. And she would give me extensions. She would give me more time to work on other things because she understood. She would set up tutors for me. She would spend more time with me in her office hours, and she would just cater to my needs. And that is all simply because I communicated my difficulties and she completely understood. Once you start struggling with a class, do not wait till it's too late to seek help. Go to your tutoring sessions. If you have an academic resource center at your school, use it. And by using your resources, I'm not just talking about academically, I'm talking about financially as well. My freshman year, my first semester of freshman year, I bought all my books and it was pretty pricey. Like, this might not be a lot to you guys, but I spent like around $250-$300 like on books and materials that I needed. And coming from a poor person, like, that's a lot of money to just like, you know what I mean? So by the second semester of freshman year, I made sure that I knew all the resources and all the programs that the school has to help me with this situation. So by my second semester, I basically got most of my books for free. I went to the academic resource center. I borrowed books. I bought really cheap used books from a website that I discovered, and I'm gonna leave that website in the description below just in case you guys need to buy a book and you want it the cheapest possible price. If you can't afford books, don't spend $150 in the bookstore to buy it. I know that sometimes professors will actually let you borrow a copy of their book. I know that there are alternative options where you find the book cheaper online as an ebook. You can also always like talk to the upperclassmen that have taken the class before and ask them, hi, like, can you lend me your book? Can you sell me your book for cheaper? Just literally try everything to avoid buying the original brand new book because that is so expensive to just spend $150 on one semester. And like, the thing that hurts the most is when you spend that much money and then you drop the class. Like, okay, another tip is first week of school, when you get your syllabus, you get the syllabus for all your classes. The first thing you need to do is get a planner and write every single assignment down and every single meeting and every single like lab or anything that you need. Just write it down in an agenda, because in high school that was not necessary for me. Like, I did all my homework in time and I kept it up here. Like, it wasn't a big deal. Like, I didn't need a planner. But in college, you most definitely need a planner to stay organized, because you literally have 100 million things due in different times, or like you get a deadline that's like, woo, really far away, and you're just like, oh, I don't need to do that. And by the time that it's due, you're like, crap, like, I forgot to do it. And so if you keep everything written down in a little calendar, use Google Calendar, use a physical planner, whatever you need, but just write it down. So my next advice is kind of unique, because freshman year I was so excited to come to school, and I was like, you know, I'm going to PWI and there's literally like no person of color there. And that's the one thing that was like straying me away from coming to Connecticut College, because I'm like, I'm so used to coming to a school that's full of diversity. And so coming here, I was kind of like nervous, and I thought that no one on campus was gonna look like me. So I went on Instagram and I found the people of color, and I basically followed like all of them. And then there's like in a specific friend group, a little like group of like African American guys that I followed that happened to be like in the same friend group. And so I went and followed all of them. And then when I got to school, I actually became pretty close to one of those guys, like the only guy that didn't have Instagram. And then one day we were sitting down and he just told me, you know, you're like the girl that's known for following all the guys before you got to school. And I was like, what are you talking about? That was literally like so embarrassing, because before I got to school, everyone already knew me, because everyone that had the little college bio I followed. And so I followed that whole friend circle. Like, I obviously followed way more people, but I followed them specifically, so they were already like, did you guys see this girl? Like, she followed me. Bro, she followed me too. Bruh, she followed me too. Bruh, word, she followed me too. Like, it was just so embarrassing. So like, before you get to school, I know you're hype, I know you're excited, don't go following everybody. Don't do it to yourself. Don't embarrass yourself like that. Like, save yourself some embarrassment. The next tip doesn't really apply to me, but it could probably help any of you guys. If you come to college and you feel peer pressured in the friend group that you're currently in, or the people that you hang out with, leave them. Like, leave that friend group. In high school, you kind of didn't have many options for friends, because high schools are usually smaller than colleges, and so you just hang out with like the same old people, even if you guys didn't like connect on that level. But college is like really different. I came into college and I didn't make friends really fast, because I didn't relate to a lot of people. So most of the students here in the school are white and well off, so I'm like a student of color and dirt poor. So that already meant that like I don't relate to half of the students in the school, and I'm a Christian. I don't like do crazy parties, and I don't drink, I don't smoke, don't do drugs, kids. Anyways, I didn't do any of those things, which is like what most, not most, but like, yeah, it's what most and like a lot of people do like on the weekends and stuff. And so I was just confused, I was just lost, and like, I'm like, no one relates to me, like I don't have friends. But I found those friends. I became part of Black Student Union, so I got to like bond and click with students that look like myself. And I started joining clubs in the religious and spiritual programs, so I eventually found my Christian friends as well, and people that I related to. So moral of the story is, you're gonna find your people, and you're gonna find people that are just like you and that have so many things in common with you. So there's literally no need for you to be in a group that makes you feel uncomfortable, or to be friends with people that you don't relate to. Even me, coming from a really small private liberal arts school, I still found my people. So just be patient and don't waste your time hanging with people that don't care about you. Another tip is to explore freshman year. I know that freshman year I came in with the idea, I had it all planned out. I didn't, because I knew that I wanted to be a physical therapist, and I was like, but I don't know what to major in. I'll probably major in Spanish. But my advisor really encouraged me to explore. I've taken an Intro to Global Islamic Studies class. I've taken biology. I've taken psychology, human development. I've taken English courses. Like, I've just taken a lot of different classes all around. And thank God that I did, because now I know what I don't want to do, and now I know what interests me. And that was like really helpful. If you come into college set in stone knowing that you're gonna do something, just give yourself a break from that, and just don't be afraid to explore. Like, you're not gonna be wasting your time. My next tip is to not get in the habit of skipping class, because yes, in high school, if you miss too many days, you'll get like a phone call, or your mom will know, or like, even if you skip school, it's like illegal, and like the police will knock on your door and be like, why aren't you in school? I think that's what happens. I don't know. Anyways, in college, you're an adult, you're grown. Nobody's gonna come up to you and be like, why are you not in class, blah blah blah. And so if you have like an 8 a.m. or a 10 a.m. or something, and you don't feel like getting up, you have the liberty to very well skip class and just stay in and sleep. Don't make this a habit. Like, it's definitely okay to skip class like 3 times a semester, but don't overdo it. Like, if you need a self-care day, I very well have needed self-care days where I just like, mentally, I can't go to this class. Physically, I cannot get up and go to this class, so I sleep in, which is totally okay. But when you make this a habit and you start getting lazy, it's gonna affect you really bad in the long run. So don't make skipping class a habit, please. Okay guys, I think that that's enough for my college advice. I hope that you guys found this helpful. If you guys have any more questions about the school I attend or about me in general, just leave them down in the comment section. I love answering your questions, and I hope that your college application process is going smoothly and that it's going well. And I pray that you guys get into all the schools that you applied for and that you want to attend. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.